Hello everyone, welcome to another session of Think Socio, especially for Political Science Plus 2 students, PYQ series number 3. Chapter 5, Challenges to and Restoration of Congress System. The first question, discuss the context of the 4th general elections of India, which was held in 1967. So here we have to cover the areas like the economic crisis, inflation, and unemployment situation that happened at that point of time. Then the electoral verdict, state level shifts, like many states, there is a more favoring towards non-Congress parties. Then the coalition government started taking picture. Then the defection that happened. Second question, examine the major issues which led to the formal split of the Congress party in 1969. So here we have to cover the internal power struggle that happened between the syndicate group and Indira Gandhi. Then they were not happy with the independence that enjoyed by the Indira Gandhi. Then ideological shift that happened in the party, that she adopted a left-wing policy, the presidential election crisis that Indira Gandhi supported V.V. Giri, and the split of the Congress party. Chapter 6, Crisis of the Democratic Order. Discuss the background and causes which led to the declaration of emergency in India. So here we have to take each one separately. The economic context, Gujarat and Bihar movements, conflict with judiciary, the judgment of Allahabad High Court. Here in this question, first of all, we need to give an introduction. I highlighted certain portions here because it can be raised as a 1-mark question also. Like the national emergency was declared in 1975, and who was the prime minister at that point? Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Then on basis of which particular article of Indian Constitution, like Article 352, and it was the first time in India the emergency was declared on the basis of internal disturbances, and it lasted till 1977. Secondly, we need to cover the background to emergency, like Indira Gandhi's leadership, which became polarized and personalized to a great extent. Then the government versus judiciary, the struggle that was taking place, the tensions between them. Then the opposition criticism. Thirdly, the economic context, like the Garibi Hatao slogan through which Indira Gandhi came to power, but the public dissatisfaction because whatever promised was not happened. Then the Bangladesh crisis, 1971, global oil crisis, which also affected us negatively. Then the agriculture decline due to failed monsoons actually worsened the hardships. Next, protest and movements. The Gujarat movement took place in 1974, which led to the president's rule in that particular state. Then the Bihar movement, in which Jayaprakash Narayan or JP demanded a total revolution targeting Indira Gandhi. Then the railway strike that happened nationwide. Finally, the conflict with judiciary. The first one, the Keshavananda Bharati case of 1973, in which the constitution's basic structure idea was given by Supreme Court. Then the Chief Justice appointment, in which the Justice A.N. Ray was controversially appointed as the Chief Justice over other senior judges. Then Indira Gandhi's election case, or Indira Gandhi versus Raj Narayan case, where the Allahabad High Court invalidated Indira Gandhi's 1971 election. Second question, explain the consequences of the 1975 emergency. This emergency period is considered as the black chapter in the history of independent India. Here we need to cover the suppression of agitation. Many opposition leaders were jailed at that point. Press censorship was imposed, banning certain organizations like RSS, suspension of fundamental rights, preventive detention, resistance from the part of journalists, like they returned their awards, constitutional changes that brought through the 42nd Amendment. Third question, find out the reason for the failure of the Janata government. First, the internal rivalries that happened between the leaders like Morarji Desai, Charan Singh and Jagjeevan Ram. Then the lack of unity within the government. Policy failure because no significant deviation from the Congress policies. Weak leadership. Instability. Public perception was also like the public viewed it as unstable, and it's always the quarrels taking place between the party leaders. Then electoral defeat. Chapter 7, Rise of Popular Movements. First question, prepare a note on Narmada Bachao Andolan. So first we have to give the background that the projects like Sardar Sarovar Dam in the Narmada Valley. Then what are the issues raised, like highlighted the idea of forced displacement, loss of livelihood for many people, the cultural and ecological impact. Then the advocates of the dam argued for its benefits in irrigation, electricity. The government came with a national rehabilitation policy in 2003, and this legacy of this particular movement inspired similar movements, questioning the developmental model in India. Second question, write a short note on anti-Iraq movement. So first, the origin of the movement, which began in the rural area of Andhra Pradesh in the Nellore district. Then the problems addressed by this particular movement, like alcoholism that led to the family breakdowns, violence, and economic strains. Then the increased number of crimes also. So the political and social impact, like the crime and politic nexus that was happening there, the alcohol trade that was happening on a large scale. Then the women's movement link, that the movement became part of the broader women's movement advocating for the gender equality and addressing the domestic violence. Third question, write a short note on the Dalit Panthers movement, which formed in Maharashtra in 1972, and it influenced by the Dr. Ambedkar's vision of socio-economic justice and liberation for Dalits. The movement focused on ending the caste atrocities, ensuring social justice, and uniting the oppressed groups like Dalits, landless peasants, and industrial workers. The cultural impact is also an important one, like the Dalit literature, like autobiographies, criticize the caste oppression, broadening the Marathi literature and sparking cultural debates. Fourth question, write a short note on the Chipko movement. It started in Uttarakhand district of India, and the protest spread across the Uttarakhand, raising issues of ecological and economic exploitation. And the movement demanded the local control over forest, prohibition of contracts to outsiders, low-cost materials for small industries, and ecological balance. And it advocated for the rights of landless forest workers and minimum wages. The women-led agitations against alcoholism expanded the movement to include the social issues also. The government banned the tree felling in Himalayan regions for 15 years, symbolizing the broader environmental idea. Thank you everyone for hearing Think Socio.